Yeah. Right? And I'm not playing.
Dawn of DC Shazam was one of the books that I actually thought this actually felt pretty good, and I was like, okay, about jumping in and kind of enjoying it. It was odd. Mark Waid did some odd choices kind of early on, and I wasn't quite sure how I'd feel about it. Then of course, we stopped doing the book. We went off and did Night Terrors, and we come back, and I haven't really jumped back in again, but I did catch up here recently. And here's my question for you guys: if they don't take this stuff seriously, if they don't consider the art, the genre, storytelling, and the art, if they don't take all this serious, then why should we? And is it worth our money? If they're not going, if they're going to almost like just mock us in this process. First off, you're making a Shazam book about a kid in a superhero's body, a PG-13 book, which I'm not sure why it's PG-13. It's just silly to me. And the big twist is that Billy has been acting weird. Like, so Billy as Shazam and things like that. He's just doing weird things. He just does weird things. He goes to help a museum fight a bad guy and destroys the place. Things like that. Just everything's strange and out of it. So what is really going on here is finally revealed, and we have sort of like a 3-arc story as it sort of kind of plays out, because we end up with this. We're going to go to the ape, where the apes are, and all of that. But it's one of these things where even the art, I've said from the beginning, one of my pet peeves was just these goofy panels and moments where he's all bug-eyed or weird or some sort of strange facial expression. This cover is terrible to me. I'm like, what on earth am I just? This ship is bananas, and I feel like, okay, all right, I'm fine. I'm fine, Dan Mora. You're not the problem. And then I'm like, okay, so here's our big twist. Our big twist is the different gods. So Shazam is the culmination in a human of all the powers of these gods, right? Solomon, wisdom; Hercules, Achilles; Shazam's Zeus; and then Atlas and Mercury, right? So all of these different attributes basically put him on a scale very similar to Superman, right? It puts him on this sort of scale, right? Freddy, of course, traces them down and figures out that they are cheating, and they are possessing and taking control of Billy's body as Shazam to do what they want to do. And because they only have their one strong attribute, they're weak in these other attributes, and it's why things are ending up in chaos. And they take control of Freddy to spy on Billy. Aren't these gods great? Isn't this such a great idea? There's all these weird things that just go on and play out as we kind of move through the different stories. And the one thing is when he gets there, he's going to go and he's facing off against, he's taking here to this situation here, the Emperor on the Moon, meet the captain, whatever. Well, this strange character, right? We cut back and forth with the gods, and you're introduced to Queen Bee. Okay, I'm like, okay, I got to be honest. As bad or issues there could be, I was still kind of having fun, and then it becomes a weird, like gag. Like we're gonna have she's flashing back, and then it's like all this thing. So basically, it's like he's hunky guy, and he's like behaving as though he's hunky guy. Why? Because Zeus is trying to get his business on. Yes, I'm right. That's right. So I'm the captain. I'm the captain, baby. Is really Zeus trying to get his business on, and him it's like look at the comedy in the background, right? And Solomon is insulted, and they berate Solomon because he's human. So this is Billy not really being Billy. Billy's just acting like a buffoon because Zeus is doing all this, right? Okay. And then they're talking, and then he's having the strangest feeling that I'm going to kiss her, be utterly and madly, and the first person I ever kiss, some creepy alien. Only way to stop it, but so dangerous, it'll leave me vulnerable again. It's like, what on earth is happening? No. So Billy doesn't want to do this. So what does he do? He Shazams and becomes the child and not being possessed by Zeus. Right? So they stop short of doing some of that, right? And then when we transfer over into issue 5, which is, he's going to be saved by Mary, right? And I kid you not, we're going along and we're having actions like that. And he has these moments where he does these facial expressions. Or here's another thumbs up from her. I called the lightning. I dodged it, right? I dodged it. So Mary wins the battle by doing the Shazam, but at the last second moves out of the way so it hits the that's a thing now. That's what we can do now, Mark. Okay, then they're fighting for a minute, and I kid you not, we're going to interrupt any of the elements of the action and stuff because we have to have this. Here's the action. Here's the back and forth, and then the next panel is Shazam laughing. Gotcha. And you're like, what is going on? And here it says, Cap, you're acting weird again. What's going on with you? Loosen up, Mary. Pantsing a gorilla is funny. So we stopped having our action superhero story so we could have a Shazam pants the gorilla gag that's supposed to be funny because he's being controlled by the gods. So let's be honest what's actually happening here. I'm only a little bit in on reading these books, Mark. The people at DC. You have to understand that we as fans are fickle in the sense of we don't have to give you our money. I don't have to spend time doing this. And if you're not going to figure out what the tone is and the feel of everything is and how you want things to operate, I'm not sure why I invest in it. What is in this for me, right? Because this is what I ended up getting. I ended up getting a Mark Waid virtue signal as the resolution is Mary, kid you not, she is now going to womansplain and target the gods. Yep. You've been arrogant like Solomon, reckless like Hercules, and now you're all pranks and tricks like Mercury. Is that it? Could they all be in your head somehow, controlling you? Rats. They're all played out. Yeah. Holy moly, what? Right. So, can't fool the woman. That's our message, Mark. I was just like, you've got to be kidding me. So all this stuff's happening. One of the gorillas is named Ted. It was so irritating that the character's named Ted and it's kind of played up as sort of like a almost like a moment of levity in a way. And then sort of like it comes to a head because, and I get this in a way, but I don't in another way. And this just feels like another one of these. It sounds fine in Mark's head. It comes to a head where Billy confronts the gods, whatever, about not having your power. I just won't say the word then. If you're not gonna let me do it, then I'm doing it. And then it's like, if Billy's not gonna do it, I'll do it. Freddie says that to Billy and to the gods. So you feel like, let's do a Shazam book where Shazam acts like weird because he's really not control. He's not the human in charge in the body. The gods are like cosplaying through him. They're roboting him. We put him in this little monkey adventure. Nobody cares, whatever. We'll have gags and whatever. And then when the gods get called out on it, we're going to do it so Freddy can be the new Shazam. So we'll have Fred Zam. That's what we'll have next. Yep. Betrayed. Maybe I'll catch up in 4 or 5 issues. I'm out. I'm done. I'm dealing with like dinosaurs with like a monocle who's doing the auditing of a paperwork for a super. I don't even care about all that stupid joke and line that keeps going on and on and on. It's like, yeah. And this was not one of the worst books at DC. You didn't see me doing reviews about Fire and Ice, did you? I couldn't even make it through Fire and Ice. Like it was so unbearably bad. I haven't gone back to the Tim Drake Robin stories and things like that. Shazam was one of the more decent starts in this whole thing. And this is what you've done. DC's on fire. This is a freaking mess, man. Just a freaking mess.